On a blustery day in December 2018, we visited David Harding, a new woodland owner who had successfully been awarded funding from the HS2 Woodland Fund. The fund supports the HS2 ecology programme and focuses on biodiversity and the creation of new native woodland. Over the next few minutes, hear from David, as well as Woodland Officer Paul and Chartered Forester Robin.
Hello, I'm Paul Webster, Woodland Officer with the Forestry Commission. The Forestry Commission supports woodland creation and tree planting in line with government policy, and what we're after is the right trees in the right place. When I receive a woodland creation application, I check it meets the eligibility criteria of the particular grant, and I also check it meets UK FS. Part of my role is to visit the site. I usually invite the owner and the land agent where one's been involved. This gives us all the opportunity to discuss the proposals on site, and points of discussion may include species choice. Has the right suite of species been chosen? Is there sufficient resilience against climate change issues and pests and diseases? Has adequate protection against rabbits and deer been considered? Also, landscape aspects. How does the proposed woodland creation fit in with the immediate landscape, and how will it affect other land uses? It is important that the owner's objectives are met, and this is the opportunity to discuss those also. At Avonwood, approximately 18,000 trees have been planted. These are predominantly native broadleaves, including oak, hornbeam, field maple, birch and willow. This wide range of species helps to provide resilience against climate change issues and pests and diseases. Oak, hornbeam and beech have been identified as timber production trees for the future.
In terms of top tips, I guess the first thing for me was to find a specialist forester. Because much as I'd read about what the practicalities of creating a woodland, until you talk to someone who really understands how to do it, understands the right species mix, understands how to lay out the field, understands how to set about finding the right contractor, there's just no way I could have done that without the specialist help.
HS2, part of the eligibility is that the site had to be within 25 miles of the line, and the scheme had to be in excess of 5 hectares. So having the 11 hectare site here, again, helped the eligibility. What I found as a consultant applying for the HS2 Woodland Creation funding was that the process was quite streamlined, and it was great to work with the Forestry Commission on that. We had some really pragmatic discussions, I know, during the process as to how we would specify the protection and the species mix. And it was good to have the FC involved and sort of work as a team with you and the FC on that. It was really good to have the Forestry Commission Officer, Paul Webster, on board. So once I'd submitted the application, Paul took that application and visited us on site, and it was a really useful meeting. So we were able to look at some of the practical detail on the ground. Paul suggested, because we wanted fundamentally the wood to produce timber in the long term, so Paul very usefully suggested that spacing the oaks closer together would create that early straight growth, good form, and help that objective later down the line. So great to get the funding award announced in the summer, at which point we were tendering out to contractors, and fantastic to see things coming to fruition today.
But the Forestry Commission stay involved for a period, don't they?
They do, yeah. So Paul will be in touch with us during the maintenance period. So the first few years are the most important, making sure the weed control's up to date, and those trees have access to all the moisture they need to survive and to grow well. In sort of years 3 and 5, we'll be moving into formative pruning of the oak, the hornbeam and the beech, again for timber quality. Who knows, if we get good growth rates, which we do expect on this site with these soils, we hopefully will be doing the first thinnings in year 15 to 20.
The Forestry Commission would like to thank both David and Robin for their time in making this video, and we wish David every success with managing his new woodland in the future. If you're interested in planting your own woodland and would like to know more about the grants and support available, please visit www.gov.uk/guidance/create-woodland-overview.